Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video clips that I'm going to be showing you came out about 5 hours ago, and it's all news to me because looking at watching stuff today, I should say, doing research and stuff like that, I didn't see much of it until I was watching a channel that I follow, which is Tusi TV, which is Maya Tusi from Britain. That this news popped up that supposedly the FBI apprehended Pakistani nationals that were supposedly plotting to make another assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Okay, so when I seen that, I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't hear anything on the news, and sure enough, I go check up on the online, and it's like it's there, but it's not being pushed out for some reason. I got two clips, one from ABC, one from CBS, I believe, which the one from ABC came out 5 hours ago, the one from CBS came out an hour ago. But as I'm looking online on YouTube and on other social media platforms, it's like basically I'm not going to say that it's hush hush, but it's definitely not being pushed out. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so I'm going to play these clips so we can find out what in the world's going on. But before I continue, I just want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. If you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. And also, I was notified today by YouTube that my super thanks are active. I'm not too familiar on stuff like that. Supposedly, like super thanks and super chats or whatever the case is. I'm still learning all this. So if any of you can reach out to me through the comments or email and tell me how that works, that'd be greatly appreciated. And also, I do have one more message. I'll say it later on in the video. It's more like a favor, if anything like that. But also, one more thing before we start. I'm also leaving the links in my description for the Give, Send, Go and the GoFundMe campaigns for Josie and for Loza Alexander. So without further ado, let's get into this and find out what's going on, because now all of a sudden Pakistan is involved. So here we go.
Breaking news, the FBI arresting a Pakistani national in connection with an alleged plot to assassinate former President Donald Trump. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky joins me now. So what do we know about this man and what he was planning?
Kira, his name is Asif Merchant, and he entered the United States, according to federal prosecutors in Brooklyn, in April. And while he was here in the United States, he made phone calls trying to hire hitmen to carry out his alleged scheme to assassinate government officials on U.S. soil. The criminal complaint does not mention former President Trump by name, but multiple sources familiar with this case say one of the intended targets was former President Trump. The hitmen that Asif Merchant allegedly contacted ended up being confidential sources of the FBI. So there was never any real danger here, because it seems the feds were onto this man from the start. They followed him for several months and arrested him July 12th, just before he was about to board a flight and leave the country. Kira, the arrest July 12th, you'll note, is one day before former President Trump's rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, when there was an attempt on the former president's life, although these two things are not believed to be connected.
All right, so no evidence in any way, shape, or form that they could have shared information or were connected in any way. Two separate incidents at this point.
So it seems, Kira, the FBI has said they found no connection between Thomas Crooks, the 20-year-old who took a shot at Trump in Pennsylvania, and any foreign operatives. But we did learn, subsequent to the rally and the assassination attempt, that the Secret Service had made adjustments to the security plan for the rally because of a thinking that Iran did have this desire to go after former President Trump. Perhaps now we know what gave them that indication. Perhaps this is one of the reasons why those security adjustments were made.
Okay, I'm going to pause it. The video's over, but I do have another video. Now, he mentioned something back here that I'm gonna see if I can play it again. Something to the effect of Trump being on that list. I need to listen to this because watching the video by Maya Tusi, unless I'm getting it wrong, it almost contradicts something that Maya Tusi said. Let me go back. Let me listen to this.
His name is Asif Merchant, and he entered the United States, according to federal prosecutors in Brooklyn, in April. And while he was here in the United States, he made phone calls trying to hire hitmen to carry out his alleged scheme to assassinate government officials on U.S. soil. The criminal complaint does not mention former President Trump by name, but multiple sources.
Right there, when he says the criminal complaint does not mention Donald Trump by name. Okay, I'm gonna hold on to that right now. We're gonna move on to the next video because something that Maya Tusi said, and it's funny. I haven't seen the second clip. I came across that. I'm gonna play it, so we'll be watching it together. But compared to what the information that Maya Tusi put out, it makes me wonder why this video on ABC is only 2 minutes long. The next one on CBS is the same thing, just 2 minutes long. But let's continue to the next one. Here we go.
Justice Department has charged a Pakistani man in a murder-for-hire plot against U.S. government officials and politicians, including former President Trump. Sources tell CBS News that intelligence about this alleged plot prompted the Secret Service to ramp up security assets for the former president. CBS's Nicole Skanga has the details.
Yeah, but he's saying to ramp up their assets to protect them, but ramp up their assets when? Was it before crooks took a shot at him? Or are they going to do it now? You know, because if you arrested this man in April, okay, I'm not saying that they didn't share the information. Maybe they did, who knows? But something tells me deep inside that I doubt that they did, because if they did, why was the security in Pennsylvania so lax? Okay, and did Donald Trump know about that? Because if he knew, I would think that he would have spoke to his own people and said, before I take that stage, I need you to coordinate with everybody else and make sure that every area around me and around everybody else is going to be secure. And as more information is coming out, that's not the case. That's definitely not the case. But let's continue.
The complaint accuses Pakistani man Asif Merchant, allegedly tied to Iran, of orchestrating a plan to assassinate government officials on U.S. soil. One of those officials, former President Donald Trump.
Law enforcement officials received a tip and then reportedly used a range of tools and tactics to catch him engaging in criminal behavior.
The complaint alleges Merchant traveled to New York in April, contacting a potential business partner to assist him with rounding up hitmen. Instead, that individual alerted the FBI and began working with investigators as a confidential source. The confidential source accompanied Merchant on scouting missions to New York City clubs, potential recruitment spots, and shelled out $5,000 to undercover agents posed as would-be assassins.
While we still don't know the level of connection this individual had with the Iranian regime itself, what is clear is that Iran has a long memory.
Iran has long vowed to retaliate against Trump and other top U.S. officials after they ordered a drone strike in 2020, which killed Qasem Soleimani, the head of the powerful Quds Force. Last year, former National Security Advisor John Bolton spoke to 60 Minutes about the Iranian plot against him in 2022.
So what exactly was the plot against you?
The Revolutionary Guard sought to procure either my kidnapping or my assassination. not directly by a Revolutionary Guards member, but by seeking a hitman who would carry out the job either in the U.S. or abroad.
Merchant was arrested last month within days of the attempted assassination of former President Trump at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. But investigators have not found evidence of any connection, Major.
Yeah, they haven't found any evidence of any connection. Okay, granted, I get that. I get all that. But once again, here's the thing. If you knew, okay, that Iran had this plot to go after Trump and whoever worked for his administration, and this has been festering for the past 3.5 years, whatever you want to say, it's like, once again, shouldn't there have been way more security, okay, at that Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania? And where does Crooks play a part in all this? Because, you know, there's more information surfacing that Crooks wasn't just some kid that got into his head that I'm going to get up one day and I'm just going to go assassinate Trump. Okay? More and more evidence is coming out that this kid that was supposedly being trained by certain entities. Okay, so it has to make you wonder, how much information does this administration have of how many people are out there, okay, trying to carry out these kinds of threats, okay, these potential killings, and they're not, and I'm not going to say they're taking it with a grain of salt. They're just not wanting to do anything about it until it comes to light. Okay, and then you wind up getting a situation like in Pennsylvania, where now all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute, no, we didn't drop the ball, we knew, but our resources are spread thin, and we're trying to, you know, counteract with everybody else that, you know, that's trying to take, you know, trying to take a piece of Trump. It's like, I can't accept that. I just can't accept that, because regardless of how you feel personally about somebody who's in politics, you know, if you know that there's something going down, you need to take the right precautions. And it just seems to me like, if you know, this administration, you know, and whoever that they have in charge with the Department of Justice, the FBI, whoever the hell it is, it's like, are they really? Are they up to the job? It's like, do you want them to do their job? Are they willing to do their job, depending on the person that's the target? And I have to say it straight out like that, because, you know, if the shoe was on the other foot, okay, and thank God that it wasn't, but if the shoe was on the other foot, you know for a fact that the left will be hollering and bickering and screaming about, if you knew this information, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you take the precautions to do this, and that? What the hell is going on here? And, you know, when they said in the first news clip that the guy was, that Trump wasn't on that list, let's listen to what Maya Tusi has to say, because it's funny how these are two major mainstream news networks. They both only have about 2 minutes time to talk about this, okay? But Maya Tusi, in my opinion, has way more information. But let's continue. Okay, I'll leave a link in the description for Maya Tusi's channel, which is We Are the Media, I believe, something like that. But I'll fix all that up. Here we go.
Hello to you all. We come to you guys with some breaking news on 2C TV about a fresh and new assassination attempt and plot against Donald J. Trump. We've just got some information from the FBI saying that they have managed to successfully stop another attack. And we're going to obviously give you guys the details first, the reports. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on this, because a lot of people have already been speculating about whether this was the FBI and the State Department and everybody else trying to basically come across as they're doing something, especially after the disgrace upon the Secret Service chief, the former Secret Service chief. But let's talk about what we know so far. This is Asif Merchant. Now, Asif Merchant is a Pakistani with direct links to the Islamic Republic of Iran. He's been around, traveled to New York. I think about one of the things that he's actually 46. He was accused of traveling to New York City and working with a hitman to carry out assassinations towards the end of August and also early September, according to the charges filed by the federal prosecutors in Brooklyn.
Okay, now you heard what he just said. He said as early as August or in late August or early September. But in the video that you just seen, that I showed you, they said in April. So, see, this is where information starts getting a little sketchy, because if it's true what they're saying, that they got him in April, okay, fine. But the last video clip said that they arrested him last month. Okay, the day before the attempted assassination on Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. Okay, but if this man was under your radar, supposedly, well, Maya Tusi is saying that it says Asif Merchant, 46, is accused of traveling to New York City and working with a hitman to carry out the assassination in late August or early September. So if this is true, and this information that he's gotten is true, and the FBI knew that, why did you not arrest that man back in August or September? Why did you wait months? Now, I know they're going to say because, they had to get more information or whatever the case is, and before they can make a move on him. Okay, I get that. But once again, the question comes up. If you knew that this man has ties with the Islamic State in Iran, you need to start asking the number one question: how the hell did he get into the country? Okay, and even before you trying to wait for this man to reach out and try to put this plot together before you nabbed him, why didn't you just nab him from the get? Okay, or is all this just something that the FBI is putting out because they're trying to show face, to try to get people away from crooks and the investigation that is not really going on with that, other than the fact that a lot of people are finding out information, but the FBI is not really putting out a lot of what's going on with that. And like I said, there's some entities involved that supposedly Crooks was a part of. One of them has to do with a commercial. Okay, but let's continue.
Donald Trump was not the only target on the list for Asif Merchant, and again, he wasn't going to be acting alone, according to the reports and investigation we've got so far. He has now been arrested and, of course, charged. One of the things that we have to focus on is the statement from the Attorney General, Merrick B. Garland, saying, "For years, the Justice Department has been working aggressively to counter Iran's brazen and unrelenting efforts to retaliate against American public officials for the killing of Iranian General Soleimani. The Justice Department will spare no resource to disrupt and hold accountable those who would seek to carry out Iran's lethal plotting against American citizens, and will not tolerate attempts by an authoritarian regime to target American public officials and endanger America's national security." It's important to mention that when the Attorney General and then the FBI came to give this report, they weren't primarily focusing on Trump, even though Trump was the most senior figure on that list, on the hit list.
Exactly. 100%. It's like, if you knew that they're putting out threats like this, the number one person that you have to assume that they are going to go after is the one that went after their boy and killed their boy, which was who? The President Donald Trump. Okay? Why would you go and make a statement that, Iran says that they're going to go and retaliate, for what happened they're going to retaliate against Americans. It's like, okay, that's all fine and good, but that should be your second sentence. Your first sentence should be Iran is basically has a bone to pick, and we've been knowing about this information, and we have to, put extra security around Donald Trump because we feel that he's going to be, the first target and the biggest target that they're going to try to go after. It's almost as if, and it doesn't surprise me either. Coming from Merrick Garland to write anything down, I mean, to me that dude is just a damn snake. They're all a bunch of snakes. They're all a bunch of snakes. Okay, but it's like it just almost sounds like it's just so damn nonchalant what they're writing down. But let's continue.
They said there are a number of senior US officials who were also on the list, and then Trump was just there. He's the former president.
Exactly.
You should put his name at the top.
Exactly.
Working on behalf of others, overseas merchant, Asif Merchant, planned targets of the US government officials on American soil. Also, it is according to Turn and Peace, but then saying that this prosecution demonstrates that this office and the entire Department of Justice will take swift and decisive action to protect our nation's security, our government officials, and our citizens from foreign threats. Suddenly,
really, you're saying all that, but how come? Once again, the question that people are asking: how come there weren't? How come there wasn't any security on those empty rooftops in Pennsylvania during the Trump rally? I mean, you're saying that you're taking the matter seriously of any Americans getting hurt, but it's almost as if you don't want to use Donald Trump's name. You don't want to put him up on that list as number one. It is just, I'm telling you, it's almost like it's supposedly from what I said, and not from what I said, but what I put out that other people are saying, that you can't even Google the assassination of Donald Trump without something else coming up. But now supposedly the algorithm is making it pop up, but it was almost as if it was trying to be erased from the algorithm until a lot of people have noticed, have been putting it out in the past couple of weeks, and now all of a sudden the algorithm's changed. If you knew that there, and it's not like it should be any secret, I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. A lot of public officials in America are not liked by people around the world. Hence, this is why we should not have open borders. So the next question has to be, how did that man get into the country? Who was he working with? How was he able to just come in nonchalantly into New York out of all places and then start networking to try to find hitmen to go and cause chaos, not only to Donald Trump and other public officials, but also to just everyday American citizens? I mean, this is either really all true, okay, which makes it all suspect, or this is all just lies, and like I said, they're trying to show face to the American public that, oh, you know what, we didn't drop the ball during that Trump rally, okay, because we've been on this and we're trying to do the best we can. I don't know.
They're very much on top of everything now. Suddenly, not only they managed to find all these plots, but they are very proud that they are keeping everybody safe.
Really?
Where were you before? Again, even right now, they're not really focusing on the fact that Trump was the most senior figure on the list. So that's why a lot of people are questioning this. A lot of people are saying, well, was he though? Was it actually going to happen? And people are going crazy. I mean, you can't trust anybody in the media, you can't trust anybody in the establishment, so people question things. It's important to question everything and everyone.
Exactly.
But we also have to take it on the face value, what the report is saying. According to the US government, they've managed to save people's lives. Now,
right.
The FBI director has said that this dangerous murder for hire plot exposed in today's charges allegedly was orchestrated by a Pakistani national with close links to Iran and is straight out of the Iranian playbook. A foreign directed plot to kill a public official or any US citizen is a threat to our national security and will be met with full might and resources of the FBI.
Again, he said, and that was by Christopher Wray. Tusi didn't say the name. Excuse me. It says, said FBI Director Christopher Wray, a foreign director plots to kill a public official or any U.S. citizen. A public official. Why can't you say a foreign direct plot to kill and try to assassinate former President Donald Trump and public officials and U.S. citizens is a threat to our national security and will be met? You see what I'm saying, people? It's like they don't want to use Donald Trump's name. It's as if they're trying to put Donald Trump, I don't even know exactly how they're trying to put him down as far as when it comes to category. Okay? I mean, and the thing is that you as much as insult right now Kamala Harris, I mean, you have all of mainstream media putting her on this damn pedestal as if you need to address her the right way, as if she's the damn queen or has become president already. But yet Donald Trump takes a bullet, okay, which nearly took his head off, okay, and in return, innocent people got shot, innocent person got killed, and they're like, oh, we're taking the right steps to, to protect our public officials and U.S. citizens. Unreal. Let's continue.
Between Iran and America, because there are no ties, but what are the Americans going to be doing with Pakistan? That's also another question.
Sorry,
if they are
I jumped over too much. Hold on one second.
Because in a normal country, back in the day, normal country, if you do discover that a foreign force is actually doing any sort of assassination attempt, that's basically a declaration of war.
Exactly.
At least you could cut diplomatic ties. I mean, they not between Iran and America because there are no ties, but
yeah, and that's another thing. If all this is true, okay, and what I mean, if it's all true, as if they had all this information back then and they were sitting on it and they knew about this, then why the hell didn't Biden and his administration make this public information and say, we just got some information that there is a plot to assassinate Donald Trump, other public officials, and U.S. citizens, and this is coming from Pakistan and or might be in cahoots with Iran? Because I haven't heard anything about that. I'm sure all of yous out there haven't heard anything about that. But yet you're still doing business with these countries, and instead of saying, hold on one second, until we can find out the truth, we're going to put some sanctions and we're going to pump the brakes on whatever talks we have and say, what's going on here? Are we going to work together and find out, who's who and what's what and what the hell's going on or not? It's as if they're like, we got the information, let's look up on it, but we don't have to say nothing. Let's just keep doing business with these countries and we'll see what happens. Unbelievable.
what are the Americans going to be doing with Pakistan? That's also another question. If they are very serious about this, if they are very serious about national security, right? Especially when it comes to Donald Trump.
Exactly.
Now, there's going to be a lot of things to cover. There's going to be a lot of reaction about this, which we will, of course, focus on for now. We have to talk about what's going to happen on Monday, next Monday, because Trump has posted saying, on Monday night, I will be doing a major interview with Elon Musk. Details to follow. Been speaking to people around Team Trump. He will be covering all this stuff, including the assassination attempt and all the other issues, obviously in terms of the Secret Service and FBI. But we'll find out if we're going to get more information about Asif Yusuf, this Pakistani man with links to the Islamic Republic of Iran. Now,
all right, we'll leave it at that, because now he's going to talk about Kamala Harris's radical leftist vice president pick, but that's another story we got to get into. I'm still finding information on that, and it doesn't look good, especially him coming out from Minnesota. But besides that, I just find this hard to believe that if the Biden administration, knew about this, what exactly what was their plan? How were they going to go about this? I mean, did they really have this guy on, like under surveillance, where they were watching every move and say, you know what, we're not going to put this out as public information so we don't scare anybody? Or are we just holding on to this information because we have other dealings going on and we don't want to disrupt anything? Wink, wink. You know what I'm saying? So, as it stands right now, in my opinion, this is all suspect. It's all suspect. And the way Maya said, we'll find out, if they're going to put out any more information about this man. And if they're going to put out information about him, they need to find out exactly who he is and who he's tied with. Because if he is tied with high-ranking public officials, okay, back in Pakistan, back in Iran, this is something that Congress needs to get together and start questioning. Once again, was Donald Trump right, okay, when he said that they didn't want to do dealings and they didn't want certain people coming in from certain countries, but yet the left said that he was racist for doing that? Inquiring minds like to know, because it just seems that the closer we get to election day, and I'm not trying to blow a dog whistle or trying to scare people, but this is something that people need to, keep it up in mind and stay on their toes. Okay? Especially with all the nasty rhetoric that's been coming up from the left, from content creators, I'm talking from all kinds of platforms. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. It's like, are they letting this happen in order to scare the masses? Which it's going to be a lost cause, because in all honesty, the vote's already in the bag. Okay? Or do they really want somebody to get through and take care of the job? I mean, that's the way I see it. And I think that's the way a lot of people have to look at it also. I mean, there's already been talk that his campaign has been told maybe he should just do rallies indoors. It's like, or maybe you should spend a little more money and do your damn job and secure the area so that, a former president doesn't get shot at and innocent people don't get killed and or shot. Since you care so much about American political officials and the American people, instead of taking money and sending it, I don't know, to Ukraine and worried about their security and their borders, or taking billions of dollars and doing deals where illegals are still coming in through the border. There's certain ways to allocate our taxpayer money, okay, for things that we feel that we need in our country. I guess we're going to have to hold our breath and find out on that one, But anyway, I'm going to leave a link in the description if you want to watch the rest of Maya Tusi's this video, where he's going to talk about Kamala Harris and stuff like that. This is crazy, and this is something, like I said, we gotta pay attention to, because it just seems like the closer we get to election day and beyond, we got to remember, people, just because the election is in November, when Donald Trump wins, there's still a few months to go up until he takes back the White House. And if reports like this are being held back, I mean, God only knows who's going to try to take matters into their own hand, and God only knows how this regime is going to spin it all around, and who are they going to point the finger to? Okay. And if they do, is it going to be true or not, or is there going to be a hidden agenda beyond that? That's what I got for you. So remember, stay vigilant, keep praying for each other, keep praying for the women and the children of this country, keep praying for your enemies, and pray for Donald Trump. Peace.